The party people and magic makers, Destiny here on this magical Monday. As you all know, last week took a little bit of a hiatus and a break and just slowed down. And so I wanted to come back on today and I wanted to see and check in with you guys. And not in the normal, how are you doing check in. What I want to know is, how are you feeling? Not how you've been feeling for the past 2 weeks, not how you think I want to hear you're feeling, but truly, how are you feeling right here, right now, in this moment? Check in with yourself. If you need to and you're not driving, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and really register how you're feeling. Because what I've been noticing is that people are avoiding doing that. And then they get sent into this very, very wicked spiral because they're pushing all of this down in order to not feel it, to avoid feeling it. And then it just kind of blows up. It's like that, I don't know, maybe I'm showing my age, that can of worms thing where you open it and the worms all pop out. That's what's been happening to people with their feelings and their emotions because they're not wanting to feel it. What are they doing instead? Some are busying themselves, right? Some are just learning new things, which is fine if that's where you're at in this process, but not if you're avoiding it. Right? So really checking in with yourself. And, a couple weeks ago, I did that video about mindfulness and COVID. And it was really helpful because a lot of people got back to me. They're like, oh, I haven't even been doing that. I haven't been even thinking about that. And this is the time. This is the time to be mindful, right? Slowing down to check in, not slowing down to avoid and do other stuff and get other stuff done, right? Find out, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Now, if you're cleaning a room, for example, because you really want to and you know it's got to get done and you're like, I'm good and this is the time to do it, awesome. But if you're cleaning that room because you want to avoid how you're really feeling, and you can usually tell because there's more drinking alcohol or there's more food being eaten, right? We're trying to suppress how we're feeling a lot of times through food, through alcohol, or through doing stuff. That's sweet pea, no. Okay. Really check in with yourself and acknowledge what you are feeling. And here's the thing, we see it in kids all the time, right? When a kid is pissed, they are just fully pissed, face into the floor, pounding on the floor, screaming, and then they can get up 20 seconds later and be totally fine and happy. And we think that they're mood swings, but in actuality, that's not what's happening. What's happening is they're feeling 100% so that they can let it go. Now, most of us were not taught to do that. Most of us, we learned somehow that it wasn't safe to feel our feelings, and so we don't. And what do we do instead is we stuff or we avoid it. Now, people think that when you avoid it, it's it just goes away. Nope, it's being stuffed and it's being pushed in and held onto. And then you have that big explosion all of a sudden, usually for something really, really teeny tiny and small. So instead of doing that, just stop right now and ask yourself, how are you feeling? That's it. How are you feeling? Now, for some of you, that might feel really dangerous, but I didn't ask you to go and have the full toddler feeling of the feelings. I just asked you to acknowledge how you were feeling because that's the first step. When we can name it, we take some of that little sizzle and the energy behind it back. Okay. So just check in. How are you feeling right now? And then in a couple minutes, how am I feeling now? Right? Couple minutes. Maybe it's when you use the restroom and you're washing your hands, you just make it a habit to ask yourself that question and just check in. Because when you can acknowledge it, you can then do something about it. But until you acknowledge it, it's just going to keep bubbling up, and then it's going to explode. And that's when people are like, oh, what's up with her? And oh my gosh, right? And can you just feel the feelings in 10 seconds, 20 seconds, a minute, whatever, and then let them just dissipate and be gone, right? Really managing your energy and how you feel, right? Because emotions are energy in motion, right? So when you manage that and you can like bring yourself back down to a place where you're like, okay, I'm good, right? Like I'm calm, I'm peaceful. It is possible to feel that in this time, right? And please don't mistake. Like when I'm checking in with myself, I can go from like sad to ecstatic. Like I have these swings, right? And like I hit everything in between as well, right? Like, and sometimes I'm just chill and I'm meh, right? Like, okay. And then sometimes I'm like really like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then sometimes I'm like, oh my God, this sucks, right? And so feeling that's what makes us human, first of all. And we get to give ourselves permission to feel again, right? Whatever it is that we are feeling. Because when we avoid it, no, that's what makes us sick. That's like no bueno, right? And really just checking in with your energies and like how you're feeling. And yes, energies inside and energies outside, sure, but really I'm talking about the energies inside because you're projecting it out, right? And so we think that, oh, if we keep it all in, no one else is gonna know. They know, right? So really just checking in, how are you feeling right now? Right now, right in this moment, how are you feeling? Okay. And then just sit with it. Be okay that that's how you're feeling. I get all of this childhood stuff. You're not supposed to feel that way. You shouldn't feel sad. You shouldn't feel angry. You shouldn't feel blah, blah, blah. You know what? Just give yourself permission that right now it's okay to feel that. And just be. That's what's going to support us through this. The avoiding and the being busy and the getting other shit done when that's not really what you want to do, but it's because you're avoiding this. No. So just check in with yourself and give yourself that opportunity, right? I would love to hear what habit you're creating with the check-in, right? Is it every time you wash your hands? Is it every time you find yourself touching your face? Oh my God, I touch my face so much. It's crazy, right? How often are you going to check in and set that up for yourself? I would love to hear that. Post that in the comments below. And if you need any support or the energy is just too wonky and too crazy for you, please let me know. I do the free energy sessions. They're here for a reason, for a purpose. You don't have to stay stuck in it. Yes, it is because I want to see if we're a good fit for moving on into one of my packages. Sure. And like, let's see, right? If it helps and it supports you, I would love to do that. Like, let's just get that energy up and off, right? And out. All right. So check in with yourself. I would love to hear your habit, what you're creating with this checking in habit for yourself. Post it below in the comments. And until next week, peace.